Very good morning. Very good morning to one and all. It's been a pleasure once again to meet you in our Iinvty Industrial Empowerment session. This week, we are going to see a very unique model from our research department, a model called Guidelines for Designing a Robust Process in our industries. I'm Satyanarayanan, a tech professor. I thank Iinvty all the industrial leaders in this very unique topic. Iinvty, invent, innovate, inspire. With this vision, they have been traveling last 5 years with a vision to empower the society in different domains, starting from digital solutions. Digital solutions is a kind of giving training in based on AR, VR, customizing the kind of developed technologies and incorporating the technologies in our day-to-day activities. It's been customized visitor video creation. These are the things which has been done by our digital solutions wing. Next, health and wellness wing. This health and wellness wing is a very unique wing which has been started recently to ensure that our OHE centers, occupational health centers, have been converted into a kind of ergo yogic centers to ensure that there should not be any kind of chronic illness. The chronic illness have been well identified before, and by doing ergonomical posture corrections and also yogic practice, yoga, they can able to get rid of all these things. So this is from health and wellness. Next, from digital solution. This digital solution is a very unique things which we have been going to see about. This digital solutions, health and wellness. The third wing is about audit wing. Audit wing, which consists of ISO audits, IS 14489 audits, economical audits. These are the main functions of our audit wings. The last but not the least, a very important wing is training wing. Training wing is a very active wing in Iinvty, which gives training in different domains, starting from quality, safety, technological, and managerial skills. And the session objectives for today is going to be what is process? What is process? We are going to know what is process 2.0, what is the real meaning of process 2.0. Uh, we are going to see about how you are going to validate your process. Yes, you will be saying that I'm having a process in my firm, in my industry. How you are going to validate it? Are we having a process which is being up to the process 2.0, which we define? The last one is how to design a robust process. That is very important. How you are going to design a robust process. This is the three session objective. With this session objective, we are into our session. And thanks for this once again. The process. Coming to process, what is process? Whenever we are going to talk about process is nothing but whenever we are going to ask about what is process, uh, we may tell that process is a series of actions or steps which is being taken in order to achieve output. I need a output, my desired output. So I've been making the things as a sequential way to get it or to ensure that I've been getting this output. Okay, I've been getting this output. For this, which is being known as a process. But whenever we're going to talk about this process 2.0, this set of actions or set of things alone to achieve output is not sufficient, and it is not enough in this industrial revolution, industry 4.0. So it is very necessary to understand, okay, to understand that Are you aware about a process 2.0? What is process 2.0? Process 2.0 is nothing but whether you can able to achieve the probability of achieving the output. What is the probability of achieving the output? What is the probability of achieving the output in such a way that with minimum variations? Here you can able to see, whenever I be going to tell, yes, I'm having a process, process 2.0 is giving a very new definition, is telling that yes, you are going to get your output. For that only you are going to, okay, you have been sequence a step, but are you ensuring that your output is having minimum variation? That is very important. Minimum variation, as we have been listed it here, from upper specification limit to lower specification limit, whether I can able to achieve, whether I can able to achieve all these things, whether I can able to achieve all these things without any kind of, okay, without any kind of deviation. That is more important. So whether my process is being within the scale, if my process output is within my upper specification limit and lower specification limit, then I can able to ensure my process is well defined. So process 2.0 is giving a definition of, we can able to tell a process as a process upgraded process 2.0 when it is following PDCA, when it is following the PDCA and risk-based thinking. These two things, very simple, whether your process is having PDCA approach and risk-based approach. If you are going to have these two elements in your process, your output variation will be well within your upper specification and your lower specification. You can able to control this, the controlling medium. Okay, this controlling medium, it will be well within the control limit. So you can always ensure that your variation in your output is very less. So this process 2.0 gives us two things, whether your process is following PDCA approach, Deming's principle. We will be telling it as a Deming's principle. PDCA approach is a kind of a wheel-based approach and a risk-based approach. If you are going to have these two things in your process, then you can able to tell you are having a upgraded process. You are going to have a upgraded process. We are going to see that. Okay, we are going to see that how to design it. So I hope you would have been understand now what is about process 2.0. Process 2.0 is going to give us, okay, it's going to give a kind of a very important tool in such a way, okay, in such a way that my process should be able to have a PDCA approach and a risk-based approach. It is known as process approach. Next very important thing process 2.0 is talking about is process interdependence. In my industry, in my firm, each process is being related, it's been dependent with the other process. Here you can able to see what are the firms which we have been done the value mapping, different processes. Each process is having a interdependency with other processes. So are you aware of it and are you able to track it? If you can able to do it, then you are in the right path to achieve this process 2.0. So process interdependence is also one of the very important parameter of this process 2.0. Next, we are going to talk about how you are going to validate your process. How you are going to validate your processes? You may be having a lot of process in your industry, starting from marketing, sales, quality check, it may be designing, manufacturing, production, a lot of process, supply chain. Are you ensuring that your process have been well designed? How to validate it? My dear educators, one my dear experts, you can able to use this as a checklist to evaluate your process by your own and to identify the gaps in that process.
starting from, you can able to see that determine the inputs required and the output expected. This is the first thing. Are you aware about the inputs required in your process, and are you expecting the output? Are you aware about the output? If that is the case, then you can be able to put a tick in the checklist. Next one, sequence and interactions. What is the sequence of activities you are having? And in the sequence, whether there is an interaction with the same sequence with other process. Are you aware of it, whether it has been determined? Next, determine and apply the criteria and methods. What are the methods you are going to use in your process? What are the criteria? Criteria may be a measuring criteria. It may be evaluating criteria. Have you determined this in your process? You have to validate it. Then resources needed. Starting from human resource, starting from competency, maybe starting from the infrastructure requirement from a process. Are you aware about that? Not only that is fine, that is enough. We are going to talk about the availability of the process, whether all these resources have been available to my process to perform as per the expectation. That is the most important checklist or control system which you have to evaluate your processes. Next, are your processes having a responsibility and authorities? List of activities. In that list of activities, are you ensuring that the responsibilities and authorities have been well defined? Many industries, whenever I'm going for this audits, I can able to see that responsibility, yes, it is determined. What about authority? Authority, without that next management people, next manager person, I can able to take the decision taking power is known as authority. Are you giving this to the person? That is very important thing. Next comes your risk and opportunity. Whether your process, in your process, are you aware about the list of risk? It may be the risk which you experience, which you may experience, or someone would have been experienced in some other place. That is known as risk. Whether you have been having a risk chart with you, if you are going to have a risk chart with you, surely you can be able to convert this risk into an opportunity. Very important thing. Next, if you are going to make any changes in your process, entire process, are you ensuring that? Are you ensuring that there is a validation? There is a validation as per the change template, as per the change, whether if there is any change, if that change is going to affect the quality or affect the operations of my process, I'm going to evaluate it before you are going to introduce any change. I'm going to evaluate it and then I'm going to introduce the change. So once again, this 7 points, you can able to convert this into a checklist, and even I can able to ask our Iinvty team to ensure that our Iinvty care team to ensure that they can able to convert this into a checklist and they can able to circulate you. This is the first examination, self-examination of your processes. For example, I'll tell you, you have been taking a quality department. In your quality department, quality process, you are going to see that whether the inputs required and output expected from this quality department are well defined. If it is yes, yes, or no, no. Some of us may be asking, sir, partially done. Nothing partially has been done. You always have to consider it as no. Is it fine? Next, whether this quality process, the sequence of the process is been having a interaction with other processes. Are we having that chart? If it is yes, put yes. Like that, you can able to give you a scoring for this 7 of the checklist checkpoints. If you are going to get above 5, then you can able to ensure that your process has been well designed. Your process has been well designed. Your base is much in a very good position. It's been laid down in a very good position, so you can able to build the blocks in your process. My dear friends, before going into the next slide, make sure that okay, whenever we are going for any kind of audits, I can able to feel it maybe ISO 14,000, 45,000, 9,000. Without this process, okay, without this process, without this design, you can't be able to get a decide, you can't be able to get the advantage of getting the certification. So that is very important. So that is the reason why we have been choose this topic, process. So next one is a step to design a robust process. For this, we required this kind of 7 inputs from you, starting from a material resource. What are the material required? What are the material resource I may be required in my process? Human resource. Human resource regarding to the competency. Next, what is the input to run my process? What are the inputs I require? From this, what is the expected output? Okay, the quality department, what is the expected output? Quality checked product is my output. What is the input I require? I require the raw materials converted into a product from my production department, manufacturing department. I'm going to do this here. It is the input. Process indicators and measures, very important thing. Process indicators is I can able to tell you as a KPI, key performance indicators of the particular process. How you are going to ensure that the quality department, the quality process in my organization is running in a right way, or the quality process has been running as per my vision. For that, you are going to give your KPIs, key performance indicators, should be a measurable one. In quality department, number of products should be checked per month, number 1 lakh. In that, how much error is being accepted? 1%. If it is 1% is good, or 0.5% is good. If it is above than that, you are going to tell that my process is not working in the right way as per the vision. Next, list of documents, records, tools, records and documentation. You have been following it in that particular department. You are going to list out. Next, you are going to list out the risk. You can able to imagine that if you are going to have this parameters with you are going to fill all these 7 parameters with you within a single sheet, you can able to have a control of your process. So this is a very important step to design a robust, you are going to design a robust process. Before we are going to move further, okay, any doubts, okay, any doubts, any clarification, always you can able to ask. I will show you a template. Okay, I can able to share you a small template with you in such a way that you can able to understand. Okay, you can able to understand the whole thing. Okay, the whole thing, how it is been. Okay, how this process design. How this robust process design can be used. Okay, can be used. How this sheet. Okay, how this sheet can be used. So we are going to see a small template here. By this template, you can always able to understand how this process would be as we defined. Okay, as we defined, these are the different parameters which we have been talking on. This is for the process, for HR process. Okay, for HR process, what is the materials you required for that HR process? List out the materials. Human resources, what is the competency? You can able to see that they have been telling that as defined in the skill matrix. You define all the human resource competency you required. It may be a senior HR, it may be HR executive, list of people who have been working in the particular department. You are going to list that. Next, inputs required. See that I required competence criteria. I required evaluation of defined skills. I required training needs, government rules and regulation, quality policy, like that. What is the input you require to run your process? Next, the output. what is the output you will going to obtain by processing, okay, by processing these inputs. It may be a training plan, execution of training plan, trained participant, training evaluation, and effectiveness monitoring. This is the output. This is the desired output. For this desired output only we are working on. Okay. Next, performance indicator. You can able to see that performance indicator is going to be your competency metrics. You're going to be your turtle diagram and employee training history call. And what is the procedure? They are telling that they are using only one procedure which they have been using it here. Next, here you can able to see list of risk which has been associated with this process HR. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 sheet. Okay, the 7 indicators. I've been showing you a rough sheet. You have to fill the real case which has been related to you. So within this sheet, you can able to evaluate, you can able to know if there's any problem in your HR department, you can able to see whether it is from material resource, inadequacies in the human resource, or whether it is in the procedure, or whether it is the input. So this one sheet gives the entire history of your process. That is very important. For that purpose only, this robust designing of your process is very important. To sum it up, okay, to sum it up, we have been talked on, I think, at, at the beginning of the session, we talked that these are going to be the different objectives starting from process 2.0, validate your process, and step 2, design your process. I think we have been achieved the objective of the session. And once again, thank you. Thank you for participating in our Iinvty. Okay, it's a very much privilege to be a part of this Iinvty industrial empowerment session. And once again, thank you. Always you can able to be in the touch. You can able to mail us. And once again, thank you. And thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Have a great weekend.